Nice that you guys are refreshing up on the movie, hopefully, and you guys are ready to talk about some Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I talked about anime specifically on this podcast or channel, because everything has been about like video games and comics. We like dribble a little bit on anime, but it's just more me reminding Emilio to watch anime so we could talk about it. So I am excited. Welcome. How you guys are doing?
Good.
Great, yeah.
Good week.
Happy Friday.
Obviously, we I think this is the first time you guys are going to be on this channel. My homies Lance, Jerome, and Cameron. Say hi to everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
And today we're here to talk about the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie, or just Demon Slayer in general. I mean, I wish I could say the Japanese name. This Kimetsu no Yaiba, but I don't know what how to say Mugen Train. Hopefully Jerome can step in.
I just know Shinkansen is a bullet train.
I didn't watch this video, but do you know that they made a Mugen Train in the middle of Tokyo for shits and giggles?
Like a promotion, like for the movie?
I think it was a promotion. Yeah.
Oh, that's,
wow.
that's pretty dope. Okay.
Yeah. I probably should have watched the video before this, but I just saw a bunch of weebs talking with the Mugen Train, so I was like, I think I've seen enough. But yeah, we watched it last two Sundays ago.
Yeah,
2 Sundays.
2 Sundays ago. Yeah, for my birthday.
For Lance's birthday. It was a orgasmic experience, to say the least.
With all the music and everything.
It was a long orgasm.
It was.
It was a long movie.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we all think the movie's awesome, but I kind of want to hear from Cameron first, because Cameron, you just started watching Demon Slayer before you saw the movie, right?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even really know anything about Demon Slayer until Lance said that's what we were going to see for his birthday. And so then I looked it up and I was like, I might as well just try to watch this before we go. So I got like halfway through the series before we went and saw the movie. And then I finished the second half of the series after we saw the movie. And I have to say, like, I'm pretty impressed, especially towards the end of the series. I was starting to feel like in the beginning, I felt like I wasn't really seeing how it had been hyped so much, because like I was seeing all of this information about how it was like the #1 anime in Japan and the world right now, and was like dethroning Studio Ghibli and all of these other classics. And so I was like, well, I don't really see the hype. But after I had finished the whole series and had kind of gone through the evolution of the characters and seen the progression of how they finish it out, and also how they led straight into the movie with the end of the series. I was definitely, I had a better impression towards the end for sure. Really hooked towards the end, I'd say.
Agreed. It was literally the segue going into the train. Train scene.
Yeah, it was all crazy. Also, the build up in the end of the series, or the end of the first season, when they're like getting to know all of the head like fighters, from their side.
Is what Hiroshimaz? How you pronounce them? Hiroshima? Yeah.
Hashiras.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, all of them. They're like so sick and amazing, and they're strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And then to have this like flame crazy dude be like he's the most intense out of them, and then for them to show him in the first movie is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see all them fight now, because none of the other Hashiras were in the movie.
Yeah.
In the beginning, that the opening sequence, that was it, right? Of the guy like praying and walking through the like garden or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie too.
It was like come like full circle there.
Yeah. It was just really good storytelling, right? It's like they truly wrapped up each part, right? I didn't really and the fact that I thought the movie was over halfway through, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, the whole scenes of like on the train. Okay, wow, that was really good build up. I was like, okay, that ends like. I was like expecting something a little bit more like flashy,
Totally.
especially in this type of anime, what we've seen throughout the season, and especially in a movie.
With what we had heard about the movie too, because there was like so much hype surrounding it.
And I was like, okay, like as much as like the great scenes about the the fight scenes on the train itself, I was like, okay, that was it, and then bam, I was like, and then I like to say, like Yon Daime, or I keep seeing him as Minato from Naruto because he has all that vibes. But definitely, wow, that scene, wow, when it was just, I don't know, I literally rewatched some of the videos of that whole fight scene.
I probably want to say this now. If you haven't seen the movie, you should probably not be watching this because we're probably just to spoil the shit out of it.
Yeah, like it's hard to. I don't know. I watched the new trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen the new trailer for the movie that they've cut semi-recently, but it's like, it's got a lot of spoilers in it, which I was really disappointed in. Like, I actually saw it on LinkedIn, and then somebody commented like, I'm so happy that I didn't see this before I watched the movie because like you don't know that the fucking guy comes out at the end to kill homeboy, like
the upper three.
Like, he was not in the trailer at all in the first time, or we didn't know who he was.
Yeah, that's the reason why we were so shocked.
I was like, what the fuck? And he's strong, like real strong.
OP.
So I was like, this is I don't know, it's a bit of a doozy, but it just, I don't know. I think they're gonna elongate this story now that they know how successful it is.
Absolutely, it's gonna change the whole franchise.
Totally.
Do you think this was like this movie was kind of like a test to see if how
I think
how much interest has been created from just the season itself?
Yeah, I mean it killed it in Japan, right? Killed it in Japan, and then for them to come over here and make tons of more American money is like, wow, you have a global franchise, you have a global series. Like, this is something that everybody, no matter where you are in the world, can like be in on because we enjoy it. It's a good show, So it's and not a lot of animes are like that. Usually it's kind of like one country gets the joke, so the other country thinks it's weird. I don't know. It's like some things just don't translate.
Agreed.
Also, the actual animation style, I just want to point out, is something that is a departure from anime of the past in that it's much more modernized and there's a lot more CGI that's been added into it as well, which at first I was like kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this, but after seeing how they've like fused it together with the actual hand art as well, it works really well. It does.
Yeah, these guys, I keep butchering their name, like Euphorbia. Not Euphorbia. Yeah. It's not Ufotable. Yeah, Ufotable. They so they did the animation for Fate Stay Night Ultimate Blade Works and the Fate Zero movies, and they also did the animation for the show. And they have been they're the best studio that has integrated 3D with 2D animation.
Wow. Yeah.
And 3D animation, every time you hear that, you think of Berserk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen stills from that, but it's not.
I don't think you've seen Berserk. That's not that, Eric. That is not. It's not Cameron, Berserk is like a super dark anime. It is the most gory anime I think I've ever seen, to be honest with you. It's like every scene is like you hear someone die, like the them scream out. It's like very intense. Like
well, the Berserk, not the original one, but the second series is 3D anime, and there was like a lot of production problems that happened behind the scenes, but it was just done poorly, and there's a lot of memes on it online. There's some scenes where you see it and you think it's like a fan drawn art or a fan meme, but it's actually from the show. Like, there's a scene where like Guts, the main character, looks like he's just wobbling towards the camera, and it's actually in the anime. And when I first saw it, I was like, is my computer glitching? But it turned out that they ran out of time and money, But yeah, it's just like the way the 2D and 3D works, it just works so well, and they're able to do like crazy like wide shots or crazy zoom ins because of how they integrated that that kind of animation. I'm not gonna pretend that I know much about animation, but I just know it's fucking lit.
Yeah. I like the underwater swimming thing where he had to like cut himself out or something. I was like, this is so widescreen. Like I was like, wow, I'm at the movies, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy.
That's another thing that I told you right when we sat down. I have never seen an anime on a theater screen before. That was my first time watching anime on an actual theater screen, and wow, that was like an incredible experience getting to see it like projected on that large of a scale.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really enhances experience.
Yeah, surround sound with anime. It's like you can hear footsteps different and like voices different. And even though it's still like subbed, you know, it's just like a very, I don't know, I felt like I was understanding more.
Yeah, it's more immersive than, you know, watching it on Kiss Anime. But it's, you know, like you know, the animation's fire. Also the music really helped bring out the it just really elevated what was going on in the entire thing, you know, the characters, the emotions, the animation, the hype, the fucking hype, dude. It's just so good.
I mean, they were on a train the whole time, right? So like the music was definitely key in taking you to the places where they needed you to be in those moments and kind of letting you, I don't know, just kind of let it take off a little bit more, you know?
Just to point that out, you're right. Like the whole setting was mostly just in a moving train, you know, and you think that it'd be kind of boring, and no, it wasn't. You know, like they use every ounce of that train for that scene.
Totally. It's like when you see movies like that normally, if they're in like real life motion pictures, you're like, oh, this is a low budget film. Like they're not in any other room, but like on in this train, you know. But it's like they don't rely on the environment; they rely on the acting and the writing and all those other things. And I feel like Demon Slayer, even though it's an animated film, and they don't have to rely on those things, they did as well, as if it was a real life movie, you know. And that's also what brought the magic and made it just so well done. I will say though, we were watching another anime, EFFin Live, and we just finished it the other night, and it's from 2004.
Oh, we talked about two major differences in like the.
That's the one you were talking about, Cameron, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy.
It's hella crazy.
It's pretty dark too. That's like, pretty dark.
But that anime style is like, that is like what I grew up with. That is like the Pokemon. That Inuyasha. Like that makes my heart warm when I watch that shit. No matter how crazy the anime is, I'm like, that will forever be like the anime that I enjoy, that I could sit and watch 24/7.
But it's so funny because we were talking about that, remember, babe, and how so much different, even like the context of like the way in terms of like the themes they have,
the writing,
and like the very toxic masculinity that they would try to always exemplify women to be objectified.
Wait, is that the one with the pink hair girl who kills?
And she has like the invisible arms that are like behind her, that like rip everybody's heads off and stuff.
It's pretty savage.
I loved it, and I will say that like after watching Demon Slayer, I'm like, okay, I definitely obviously see the animation differences and changes, but like I'm happy to see the anime evolving, you know, over the course of like 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm like, because I mean, I grew up watching like Kiki's Delivery Service and like Studio Ghibli stuff, and like now to see Demon Slayer where it's like literally the water from his sword was like, if I had glasses on, it would be like splashing us in the face, you know.
Yeah,
like, this is pretty legit, you know.
Yeah, but like if you check out the other stuff, like okay, so you know how like I told you this Ufotable, it's crazy because like they've perfected this 3D 2D blending of animation so well. Did you all know that they also released another movie in the same year, the Fate Stay Night Spring Song, the Heaven's Feel movie, Part 3? So they also made or animated that movie as well, and that came out in Japan in the same year.
Wow.
And if you watch it, I think visually it's much better than Demon Slayer because they're in different environments, so they're able to flex their animation style, and it's a bigger space. And
Totally.
if you haven't heard of Fate Stay Night Heaven Feels, you should definitely check it out. Definitely not for kids because it's a third route, but it's the darkest route, kind of like Fate Zero, kind of.
Wow.
But the animation and the fight scenes in there and the way they utilize space and space animation and how and the crazy camera angles and zoom, it like oh my god, it's so good. It but come back to Mugen Train, even like when they were able to expand on space, I think they did it really well, especially the
dream
when,
sequence.
inside the souls
Yeah.
when trying to find the soul orbs. Yeah.
Yeah, their dreams.
Yeah. It was like crazy though. I mean, I like the idea of them being roped with their
hands, right?
Yeah, but who were they roped to? To the
These were these
children, like the tortured children.
Demons
Totally.
try to pry off.
Demons,
children,
yeah, like these demons.
Well, they're not demons, right?
They're not
No,
demons,
they were
no.
actual humans.
They're actually humans that demons were taking advantage of.
Yeah, they're being manipulated by the demon. I don't know what his name is. I just call him Dream.
Yeah, poor children.
Totally.
Yeah, because they all had like bronchitis or something, right?
I think one of
I
them.
got bronchitis.
One of them did. Right? One of them was literally dying.
No, I think all of them were dying. That's why they needed the demons' help.
No, I think only one of them was dying, and then the other two were just like they either they had traumatic experiences where like they either lost their parents or like something's happened, and they're like, oh, I want to see these people, and I
envy how much their lives are, right?
Fear beat.
I love the scene though when they look at in Tanjiro's like his outside the borders of his I guess his subconscious. It looks pretty.
Dude, those little guys came out and tried to help them.
Literally helping them like this is their orb. So here, if you want to kill it, it's right there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, man, it's animation's great, the music's great. I think there were some negatives about the movie. For me, being a person who's seen the anime, the first season, I kind of felt like the first 30 minutes was kind of slow because
I agree.
Because I kind of really knew what was happening. But if I didn't know the anime, I think they did a pretty good job introducing people to it. Like I remember I was telling Lance this, how I didn't expect the villain to do talking no jutsu, how he explained the dream sequence and stuff, because it wasn't really like that in the anime,
No, not that like super long style villain, old school villain. I'll tell you
what my plan is to do.
That was that got a bit exhausting to me, to be honest. I think that villain talked a good 15-20 minutes of the movie, in total. That was a lot.
I think part of it is because this movie was meant to be kind of a standalone movie, right?
And I think it does stand alone, but even then, it's just they could have cut his words in half, and I would have been perfectly fine with watching a bit more fighting, even though it was full of fighting all the time.
It was.
But he was kind of like that Joker type villain though too, that was kind of crazy and out of his mind, and it's totally. They just run their mouth, right? So it's that type of character. So I guess they did a good job.
How did everyone feel about Tanjiro's injury? I guess that really led to the demise of
the other guy.
Because I guess it kind of alludes to how he can be taken advantage of, being so nice and very helpful, right? That's always been his trait, and it caught him off guard, and that's how reason he got. I call him toothpicked because that's unfortunately that. I don't know. For me personally, I thought that was damn, that's how it's gonna be for him. That really led to his demise, like prevented him from helping out in the whole fight scene against
where he got stabbed.
Yeah, like I call him Toothpick because it was fatal. If you could
Yeah.
then I don't know, like I thought I was expecting more, like, you know, if it was gonna be like a more battle, if it was really gonna be something
Yeah,
bad.
but it kind of shows the morality of the demon slayers, right? Because like they're humans.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, it really humanizes him.
Mhm.
That's why we kind of empathize with him.
Also, I thought it was cool because when I remember Tanjiro was telling Inosuke to save the guy who stabbed him, and I forgot what line he said, but he said something like, "If he dies, then I would feel like I failed."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that line was actually repeated by
Minato. Just kidding.
Minato, yeah. Fuck, what is his name? That's not. Is it Rui?
Rowie.
Rowie?
Rui?
Google it.
His name is Rengoku.
Rengoku, yeah.
Yeah.
So Rengoku actually repeats the same line to Tanjiro, saying, "I need you," because like if you were to die, then I would have failed, you know. And I thought it was kind of a cool callback how it was basically his own words used against Tanjiro, one that either motivated him, but this time it sedated him, you know.
And it was also repeated at the end of the movie too, right? When they're like, no one got killed. They were like,
yeah. That means he served us well.
He served us well. Remember, they were. I forgot who said that.
Yeah, it was the older guy.
Yeah, the captain of the Goatee 13, right?
See, I like all these references. It's funny, but there's like a couple like little puns that that can really allude to this is not just for children. I like kind of like that, like, oh wow, you're inside me, blah blah blah. Like,
there is definitely some
like those little
yeah.
right?
Yeah, teenagers.
Yeah,
yeah.
Teenagers.
Yeah, you know, when the train got all bubbly and then it started like spewing out the legs and it grabbed Nezuko, I was like, oh, is this about to go there? But it didn't. I was like, nice, good job. You didn't go the traditional anime trope.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're right. It's kind of like
it's mostly guys in the show though. I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
There's not really any main female characters because that's usually except for Nezuko, you know. She's like the one, and even throughout the movie, I guess the classic female trope of like she's the one that they all pine after, right?
There was still a scene there.
Right, exactly. Like that wasn't that his like memory?
It was not his memory.
Or like
it's his dream.
His dream. He's like,
his ideal dream.
I will save you, and then he like wakes up and.
Well, that's the reason why he was able to fight, because like, oh, Nezuko's not the only one in my dream right now. Like,
yeah.
I think was it Zenitsu is the only guy who actually pines over her, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Tanjiro is that weird, you know, fucking Japanese brother sister thing. I don't know what's going on with that.
It is definitely a weird situation. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, am I just reading into this weird? But now that you've acknowledged that, yeah, it's definitely a little weird.
It's almost
well,
like,
you don't watch a lot of you don't watch a lot of anime, Cameron, so it could be a lot worse.
It could be, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, we could have that or
so
online
this
thing.
is a mild case of this.
But but like his affection has never I never saw it like as gross weird. I never saw it as gross,
Me too, yeah.
Just like very like I don't know. I can see how in the culture it's like my family is in such a high regard that it's not that I'm in love with her, but I just have so much love for her. I just watched another show called High Rise Invasion, where it was very similar. Where it's like,
was that when they were in the wartime movie, or
no? It's like when they're on top of buildings and they only have bridges, and there's these people with masks on that are trying to get them to kill themselves and jump off the buildings. It's like crazy, but like the main character is a girl in that show, like a teenage girl, like high school girl, and like her brother is her like everything. Yeah, like her.
I agree 100% on the point that even in real life, let's just say Americans in general have issues with connection, and especially with our family members, because we live in an individualist society. So we're taught from a young age that you're supposed to grow up here and go away on your own and have your own life away from your family, as opposed to many other countries in the world where that's not the case. You live with your family for your whole life and you're together.
Yeah. Well, unless you live in the South.
That's That's a story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Children of the Firefly? Or what's the Studio Ghibli movie with the fireflies? The wartime movie, the
Graves of the Firefly.
Graves of the Fireflies.
That was another.
I made him watch that.
That was another brother sister.
Yeah.
That's another really close brother and sister bond, but that's like them surviving.
Which
Yeah, that was like,
sad.
but that was like, you know, they were in wartime. I kind of understand why Tanjiro was so close with his sister, because like that's his last family member.
Yeah.
He cannot lose her.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
she was bleeding, right? And that's what like woke up one time, right? He's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like compared to like was it Sword Art Online, where like fucking Kirito, spoilers, Kirito's fucking sister cousin wants to fuck him.
Yeah.
Cause like I think was the rule, like I think back in the day, like the main family can marry their cousin who is in the branch family.
Oh,
Like second cousins usually.
Oh,
Definitely cousins were allowed to get married.
Brand, forgot. You're right.
Wow.
They have that. They do that to a lot of Naruto. Remember, because they have the side branch of like the
Bakugas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the people's called.
The Byakugan or whatever their Hinata's family is.
Yeah.
It's remember there was a whole hierarchy with that too, remember?
With the main family and branch family.
Yep.
But you know, all it happens too, like it was in Egypt, the royal family, the queen.
It's to
It
preserve.
was like that in many countries across the world. I know in India, that was very much a practiced thing in culture as well, for sure, for many, many years.
Yeah. Plus, if you, back in the rural days when there's no bullet trains or internet or Tinder, I guess you fuck your cousins. I mean, I don't know.
Wow. I would say though, like the saddest part of the movie for me was seeing Tanjiro commit suicide, like multiple, like for like 10 minutes of him literally just killing himself and coming back to life and like almost killing himself in real life. That was like that was so intense. I was like, this is so like this is not for kids, like, this is intense.
Yeah, I like how that was also like interweaved into the fight, how it wasn't just like a get out of jail free card, but there was like serious consequence to it.
Yeah,
he actually almost killed himself due to the confusions of the blending of realities,
and just the because we got to hear right at the end like the crazy shit that the guy was actually saying, like the family he was making his family say to Tanjiro.
Oh yeah,
like the living hell he was in.
Yeah, but like we didn't really know that until that last scene and it showed like 3 back-to-back clips. But the other clips of him just killing himself, we saw like 50 of them. But it's like we like to see that degradation and how like harsh and mean, and then for him to bust out and be like, "You're not my family." They would never say anything like that. And I'm just like, this is so deep. Like I can't take it. It's so good.
Yeah, they actually like they went there because like, I was kind of worried that they were gonna keep it like PG, but towards the end of it, when they started showing all like the blood and the dead family members and him committing suicide, I was like, damn. I was like, your move, Pixar. Like I want to see you.
Your move.
Pixar's not ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me the saddest scene was when basically the Flame Hiroshima was saying, and like it's sad when you don't get your way, but it's even sadder when you try your best and still fail. I was like, oh fuck, bro.
So intense.
Dude, there's so many life lessons in that movie, dude, when he was all like, let the fire inside you or let the flames inside you burst or something, and just like try your best. I was like, damn, dude, this like it's and like
and all the temptation he could have just so easily gave in and become a demon. But
I love that he was like Rengoku was like had his hand on that girl's neck for like the whole like a whole chunk of the movie. He was like focusing that hard, and I was like, this is total concentration
Well, you
Like-
have a freaking gaping hole in you. I know
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I
I
know.
know.
I was like, damn, this Rengoku got a choke a bitch, you know?
Right. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Or like it's just crazy, man. Like but we gotta give it up to the Upper Moon 3. I keep forgetting his name, but like, dude, he was so down to have him become his best bro that he was willing to die.
I
I mean,
know.
I want a best friend like that, a dedication, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So curiosity, correct me if I'm wrong. So in the moment when he was when the demon, the top demon, the third, right, he's the top 3 demon.
Mhm.
Upper Moon 3, yeah.
Yeah, when he pierced through Rengoku's arm, was he using his breathing technique also to help stop the bleeding at that moment?
I thought he was using his abdominal muscles to hold his arm there, because you know when you get stabbed.
Remember when he was teaching Tanjiro how to stop bleeding as well too? I wonder if he was doing that as well too to help because it was literally a gaping hole in him.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, actually there wasn't.
Why didn't he bleed out at that time?
Because like, you know, when you get stabbed, you have to, you know, when you get stabbed, they say
Yeah.
you have to leave whatever stabbed you in there, because that's keeping you alive.
Agreed.
You
Yeah.
can't pull it out.
Yeah, so because he was trying to pull his arm out, but he used his abdominal muscles to like hold his arm there, and he was trying to pull his arm out. Remember?
Mm.
Do you mean after his arm was gone? Is that what you mean? How he like still was able to survive for like a decent
that was
amount of
some-
Oh no,
time?
he did after that,
He
man.
was stopping it. And remember at the end he started losing strength, so that he started bleeding out even
Yeah.
more. He just gave up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, I still don't like the
last scene.
No, the crying boy.
Oh.
Like, he's-
Sietsu or
Yeah,
Zenitsu?
yeah, he's the worst, bro.
He's a
I know he's
lot.
some people's favorite. I think he's some people's favorite, but he like
He's not my favorite.
I can't stand him as a character. Even in the movie, I was just like, I'm happy that you're not talking and you only cried once. Like, thank God.
Seriously, he cries in every damn episode. Literally.
Dude, like it's so overkill to me.
Agreed,
It's too
agreed.
much. I was like, this can't be your personality, right? Like, and they made it your entire personality. Like, this is you.
Yeah. But I think he does, his personality does get better throughout the series, like especially towards the end. But you know, that's a different conversation for a different time, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I like this movie, what he did with a lot of tropes and the characters written. It's weird because a lot of people say the story is weak, and and like compared to other shonens, like I really like the way this anime went, you know, and how it's written and stuff, because I feel like there's consequences.
Yeah.
Whenever you watch like an anime, I feel like there's never a consequence. Like in My Hero Academia, like
Mhm.
of course, you know, there's some things that are gonna happen at the end, but like during the first, like I'm a only anime watchers, but like in the first 4 seasons, there's no consequences, you know. But
Totally.
here there are consequences, you know. People loses their family, they loses their mother, they loses a friend, they lose a mentor.
That's why we love Attack on Titan, right? Like that to me,
Tragedy.
like it's not just tragedy, but like consequences, like
There's stakes.
real, like it sticks, and shit comes back to haunt you. Like that to me is good writing, you know, because like it doesn't. What you're referring to when there's no consequences, to me, I call that Scooby Doo, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like okay, it's the end of the episode, on to the next episode, and like you don't really know, did that person go to prison? Are they gonna be in jail? Like what's gonna happen? You know, like that. Those questions aren't answered. And here in anime, it's like people die. You know, that's usually how it happens. And
Is that like he's gonna eat a fucking senzu bean and come back in the next series, right?
you can't go gather the Dragon Balls. You know?
Yeah, and
I also have something that I am just throwing out there that I'm just saying this as a guess, but I think that they might try to lead into some sort of story of Tanjiro being a master of all the breathing techniques, even though everyone's supposed to only have one that they pick and they master, right? But since he's already like doing water breathing and then now is like going into fire breathing, I have this feeling that they're gonna like write the story as he's like the chosen one, almost like the Avatar, you could say. And he's gonna be able to like practice all the breathing forms essentially.
Good thing you brought it up. Do you think the way the movie was ending, it's a good setup for the next season?
Totally. I think they still also left a lot of questions to be answered about his relationship with his dad and why he was able to do the fire breathing just kind of like subconsciously. And he was supposed to get those answers from the Hashira, and then the guy died at the end. And so
he's like, oh, be my master, or like, look, be my student, you know? And then he's like, no, I don't want you to be my student. And then he does one move and they're like, okay, we want you to train us.
I also wanted to add, I know this is a little bit side conversation. I really, one of the most powerful scenes for me is like when Rengoku was speaking to his mom about like protect, you know, you're chosen to be even because you're born with these powers or these abilities to being, you know, and your job is to protect people. And you know, it just, and he stayed true to that the whole time, you know, like regardless of all the temptation he's gone through and you know, all these tribulations, he still, I don't know, that was
so deep.
I know, I was like, oh, I was like, oh.
Dude, yeah, dude, like I'm not gonna lie, like I've been this last week I've been listening to I've been on YouTube listening to the Rengoku's Last Smile OST, and it's just like the piano melody is so good. But I just don't know why people say the story is weak, because we were able to care for this character with a total of 15 minutes of backstory.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like we fell in love with his personality, we fell in love with like his background and
his little brother.
I know
the little brother scene when he came outside after his dad was like, "Fuck you! I'm never gonna fucking respect you.
I don't care if you're a
piece of shit."
Yeah, I don't
like,
care if you're
and I was just like for you to walk out and internalize that and then not project out exactly what you just heard. That to me is like life lesson, big brother like lesson, but also like man lesson, like, or just human. Don't project what is projected on you. Like that is some bigger thinking shit. But that to me is like, I don't think even if the story was weak to some people, I think if they looked at those type of details, right, the bigger picture details, then like everybody can get something out of the movie, and that's why it's successful, you know, regardless of like the story or if you've seen the series or not, right? It's like those gems of truth that are in the movie are like, they're just not being dropped in other animes all the time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, when I saw that scene, I was like, you know what? I feel him, because like I have an Asian father too, you know. And it's just like I don't maybe didn't like the author because she's a woman. I don't know, I'm just throwing out there, but maybe there weren't enough titties or asses or the traditional shonen, because you know, like this is a shonen, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot more, you know, and just a lot of life lessons in there, like even small things you can just take away, like what Lance was saying, and apply it to different things, like, you know, always find your passion, do your best, you know, it doesn't matter what somebody else says, like mentor the future, you know, it's just like it's crazy the things that are teaching you here. I guess maybe there should be more titty shots and kamehamehas, but I don't know, you know, I think it was doing fine without it, dude. It's I think, you know, I like it. It's compared to, you know, obviously I was a little sour when this movie didn't even get nominated for any awards in America for animation, but it's what I like about anime, and what this movie did was how it went places that most Western animation won't. Like I heard Soul and Toy Story, the touching childhood and stuff, but this dude, they were talking about like regret, guilt, suicide, abusive family members, you know, things like that. Like it's hard to see this kind of stuff in a media that it looks like it's aimed for kids, but it has like adult topics, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Americanized. I think that's the difference, right? It's not this like, you have to tell this story and they can't die. Are you kidding me? If they die, nobody's gonna watch it, or they're gonna hate it, or whatever. It's like that context.
Not whitewashed.
That's not white. Thank you. That backdrop, that whitewash is just not there, right? So like the idea of Tanjiro having to leave his family in the snow when they are calling for him. He hasn't seen them. We've only seen them in one episode together in the first episode of the series.
Before they all get slaughtered, yeah.
Yeah, and then like now we got to see a movie where they were sitting together, and like we didn't even get to see that before, you know. So like, and then for him to have to leave that, like, that is a grown-up life lesson where it's like, no, life is harder out there, and you can't just live in this dream world or numb yourself and pretend like there's nothing going on the outside when everything is going on the outside. It's like that big life lesson. Like, there's just so much. I'm like, that's that me as a 29-year-old Black gay man took away from this film, right? And I'm like, cool, I can apply that to my life. And like, I don't know, that I love anime. I love watching it for various different reasons, but like to have that sense of impact, you know, and context and detail and passion and all that is just like, I loved it. It's great. I would buy the movie to have, you know.
Yeah, it could have been a metaphor that the author didn't intend, but like how Tanjiro had to commit suicide to go back to the actual reality. Like, it could have been a metaphor for maybe you have to, you know, not kill your old self or let go of your past self to evolve into the person who you are trying to become.
Totally, you have to die.
Wow.
Probably,
You can pick that up, but that's a great analogy that you just pulled through that, and I think that definitely is a big piece of that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, he did die a few times. I don't know, man. The fucking movie was great, dude. The fucking story was great. You know, obviously, some parts did feel a little dragged out because it was part of a bigger story. Because this movie is, you know, it's as self-contained as it could be, but obviously there's more lingering questions because it's leading to the next arc. I think that making this movie canon probably drove up the viewership, because if you're gonna watch season 2, you have to see this movie.
Yeah. Oh my god. If you don't see the movie, like, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Because the way that season 1 ended was literally them going to the train, right?
Yeah.
And then they would be like returning from the train in the second season. The context would be, unless they decide to say, we're gonna focus on the Hashira now, you know, and focus on the things that were going on while they were on the train, right? Because like I said, that is totally missing as well, right? That the world is still happening. There's still demons out there. There's still and clearly this upper level 3 demon, like, there is other things in the works that are happening in the background that we're not aware of yet. And I think that will start to get shown more in the second season, which I'm totally here for. Like, I like the main 3 characters, or like 4, you know, including Nezuko, but like, I could watch more of the other characters and really get to know them a lot better. I feel like I would have been even more connected to Rengoku if I didn't just see him in the last season as a fucking fuck boy, like screaming at the kids, being like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. Stay the fuck away from me." Blah 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 blah. Because that's what he kind of was. He was like pissed off, you know.
Well, we kind of
was he
getting in the
yeah, dude. He was hella like, I'm better than you. I think this is when Tanjiro got on the stage to be judged by all of the Hashira in the second to last episode, or last episode, where he was just like, "This, like, you guys are trash," you know. They were talking mad shit, but I mean, they were kind of trash at the time. They hadn't mastered like the breathing or anything that they needed.
Yeah, and his sister was still recognized as a demon.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah, he was talking shit because his sister was a demon. That's what it was. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and in the end, when he finally accepted her as a demon slayer, I was like, oh.
Yeah, a little too late, man. A little too late.
Yeah, man. It was a good movie. It was fire, dude. Well, it's past 9:30. I know, Cam, you said you had a time limit. Anything else you guys want to say about this movie?
This is great. Series? I'm glad we did this too.
See your phrase. 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, it was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But at the same time, I feel like there was I would watch it again, you know, and I feel like I would get different stuff out of it. Like the same, but I would also see new things that I could be like, oh shit, I didn't even see that for the first time. Like, you know, we should watch
discussion. I feel like I had revelations of that nature just from your guys' perspectives. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Totally.
Yeah, we could do this again for a different anime series where it's not just us reacting to videos. You know, I like discussions because there are a lot of good themes, a lot of good tropes that we should explore. and just talk about how we can relate it to our life, you know, because that's like, what's the point of consuming media that isn't beneficial to you? I mean, I'm not gonna try to knock down like trash media, because like I have my own trash media, you know.
I'm like, there's some anime out there that I love that's like totally nothing. Like it's just so foo-foo. Like it's so like
fluff.
Yeah, fluff. You know.
Yeah, but this series like this is ones that we're gonna remember for a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I guess watch another series, and we can try to have this again and discuss the themes and talk about it.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your guys' time. I will talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.